Good morning. It's a Saturday and I've come to Alpha to enjoy this serene nature, beauty here, and also talk about what Alpha is and how we can help you. So before we talk about Alpha, these are 11 points that you need to know before choosing any rehab. If you or your loved one, anybody who's needing a rehab, who's suffering from any addictions and who need to go to a rehab, these are 11 points that you should know about before choosing or before making your decision which rehab to go to. So there are a lot of rehabs. How to know which rehab is good for you, where you're going to get good results, where you're going to avoid getting into a relapse situation. So here we are going to talk about these 11 points today that will help you decide out of all the available rehabs what is good for me, where am I going to get good results. So let's run through those 11 checkpoints to choose how to choose your rehab. So the first and the most important point in choosing a rehab center is the kind of accreditation it follows. So the rehab center should be approved by the state government, approved by the Ministry of Health. The rehab center should have a psychiatrist in place, and the rehab center, if a rehab center has ISO certification, then nothing like it. That tops it all. So make sure that you have all these compliances followed. A rehab center that does not have these compliances followed, you can get into trouble later on. Your treatment may not be of that quality. So keep this accreditation requirement in mind and ask the rehab center before admission of what kind of accreditations do they follow. Another point to consider while choosing a rehab center is the kind of amenities that it has. While you stay at a rehab center, you need amenities so that you stay a little engaged, you stay entertained. Look at the amenities here: library, salon, fitness center, indoor games, spa, massage, swimming pool. More than that, there are volleyball, tennis, there is cricket, there are lots of other games in our game zone. On this side, if you go further down, there's swimming pool, there's a gymnasium, there are indoor games like carom, there's pool table, there's music room. There's so many amenities. So if your center does not have that many amenities, you are going to get bored. You may not continue the rehab program, and you might get bored. Here, you don't have to worry about that. You are like in a 5-star resort. You're going to stay entertained and continue the program consistently. So another point to consider before choosing a rehab center is to see if the staff working there are qualified and their credentials. That's our team coming to the center to start our day. So make sure that the center that they go to has an in-house resident psychiatrist. They have a team of counselors that are RCI certified, and everybody else who are working there have to be certified and have to be qualified to handle the treatment, handle the entire program, handle the entire recovery process. So checking the accreditation of the team is very, very important. Go to the website, go to the profile sections where doctors' names are mentioned, their credentials are mentioned, and that should satisfy you. One more important point to check is the safety and security. Now that's our safety and security area. Any rehab center that you go to has to have a strict security and confidentiality. Once people go inside, make sure that the center takes care of the security, that the substances don't get smuggled in. There are a lot of rehab centers where security measures are insufficient, incompetent, and because of that, substances are smuggled in and people fall back into the same issues while they are at rehab. So this will be a very surprising fact, but it's true, it does happen. So safety, security are very important. At the same time, confidentiality is also very important, that the guests who come there, if they choose to remain confidential, then you need to maintain their confidentiality. You cannot reveal their profiles, you cannot reveal their names. So that confidentiality is very, very important. Another point which you need to consider is the cost structure. Choose a rehab that offers you a complete transparency in the cost structure. There should not be any hidden charges. Whatever you're going to pay, you should know upfront. Once you go to the rehab center, everything that you are going to do there should be covered in your primary package. Only there are certain things like massages or something additional, then that cost can be added separately. But otherwise, your programs, your stay, your meals, your therapies, your counseling, everything should be included in a transparent and one pricing. some of the patients who come for de-addiction, when they go to the center, after evaluation with the psychiatrist, they realize that there is a dual diagnosis. This means that apart from the problem of addiction, there is also an underlying condition like probably bipolar or schizophrenia or something like that. So these dual diagnoses are very complicated and not everybody can handle it. So you need to choose a rehab center that specializes in dual diagnosis, treatment of dual diagnosis. So another important point is to consider a rehab center which offers holistic treatment, holistic approach towards your rehabilitation. So there are a lot of other rehab centers that may not have a holistic approach. They might just focus on psychotherapy, on just counseling, or just giving you medicines. But look for a rehab center which has yoga, meditation, art therapy, group therapy. It has recreational facilities. It has hypnotherapy. It has meditation. All those therapies included together. So when you have a holistic approach, the chances of relapse reduces. The chances of recovery are faster, and it will be a more sustained recovery, which means you don't relapse. You don't have to come back to another rehab center, and overall, your recovery will be more stable. Another important factor to consider when choosing a rehab center is the location. Choose a location which is close to nature, which has serene landscaping, which has mountains, which has trees, which has a lot of oxygen around, which has a lot of fresh air around. You've already been living in the city. If you choose a rehab center that's close to your city, if ever you feel like discontinuing, your home is so close to you that you might just run away from there and go back home. So if there's something that is away from your home, when you get disconnected, when you stay in a place like this for 1-2 months, you are going to stay here, you are going to continue your program because it's so nice, so fresh, it's already going to feel like a holiday. And while you are going to spend your holiday, you are also going to recover. So choose a rehab center that's close to a lot of nature. Another important point is to choose a rehab center that offers good aftercare. So once you are here at the rehab center, once you go through all the treatments, you recover, you are healthy, you go back. But when you are integrated back into the society, you will get the urges when you go and meet the friends, the same people, the same places. You can relapse, you can get those urges. So choose a rehab center that offers you aftercare services as well. Aftercare means that offers you some guides, that offers you some helps, that offers you some tools, that offers you family meetings, group meetings online where you can stay connected, you can keep reporting your progress, and if at all you have any relapse issues, you can always contact those same counselors who have dealt with you before, so that you can prevent the relapse. So choose a rehab center that has a very healthy aftercare process, that looks after the clients once they leave the rehab. So another factor to consider is to choose a rehab center that has a good success rate. So how to find out? Go to the social media, ask references, ask from there, some people that you may know who have been there before, check for success rate. So similarly, when you look at these mango trees, there are a lot of mango trees, a lot of mango plantations around, but every mango tree does not become successful in giving healthy fruits. Here our mangoes are giving healthy fruits. This is a season of mangoes. If you come now, you're going to enjoy these fresh mangoes. So your recovery process is like sowing a seed. This is our organic farming area where people can come indulge in organic farming. So if you come to a center and sow a seed here and watch that plant grow, your recovery is going to be just like that. You sow a seed and see it grow. So while choosing a rehab center, choose a center that offers you long-term programs. Long-term programs means the short-term programs or short-term recovery promises do not work. Recovery is a process. It takes 2 to 3 months. 3 to 6 months is the international standard. So choose a center where you are offered long-term programs, where continuously you are taken care for 3 months, 4 months, so that your recovery is sustained, recovery is stable, and you are free from the clutches of those nasty habits. And remember, if you come here at Alpha, come here. As soon as you come here, you sow a seed, and before you leave, you will watch that grow into a full-fledged plant that probably will give you fruits or vegetables.